Question 3 of polynomial functions under multiple choice question bank. Here is another question which relates degree with turning points. Now, why am I giving so many questions on this topic? This is kind of very important because it helps you to sketch a polynomial and to answer many related questions, right? And always in a test, you'll get at least 2 questions based on this concept. So try to understand it. Question number 3 says, which of the following statements about a polynomial function is false? A polynomial function of degree n has at most n minus 1 turning points. B, a polynomial function of even degree has at least 1 turning point. A polynomial function of degree 3 can have 1 turning point. A polynomial function of odd degree may not have any turning point. Now, read the options again and then mark the choice which is correct for this question. Okay, and then look into my solution. The question here is, which of the following statements about polynomial function is false? That means all are correct except for one, right? Now let's look into the statements. 1. A polynomial function of degree n has at most n minus 1 turning points. Well, this is correct statement. We already explained this in question 2, right? Now, as I said, you could always take a simple example, and the simplest is a quadratic function which is of degree 2, right? So we say, well, let's draw a quadratic function and see it for ourselves. For example, this is a quadratic function, right? Now here it has quadratic function. What is the degree here? The degree is 2 and number of turning points 1. Do you see that? So 1 less than 2. It will always have just 1 turning point because it has to go from quadrant 2 to 1. It has to turn at least once, right? So it works. So a polynomial function of degree n has at the most n minus 1 turning point, right? If you take degree 3 polynomial, then at the most it can have 2 turning points. It has to go from here to there, right? Now it could have no turning point also. Let's look into option B. A polynomial function of even degree has at least 1 turning point. That is true. As we see, even degrees will face same side. So if they are going from quadrant 2 to 1, they have to turn. If they are going from quadrant 3 to 4, they have to turn. So that's also correct. So this is correct, this is correct. A polynomial function of degree 3 can have 1 turning point. Let's look into this once again. So basic cubic function is kind of like this, right? It has no turning points. It goes from quadrant 3 to 1. And then let us say if it wants to turn, then let me draw with this. Then once it makes a turn, then it's going towards quadrant 4, but it has to reach towards quadrant 1. That means another turn is required. That means one turn is not permitted. It is either 0 turns or 2 turns. Do you understand? So this statement is wrong, and so that is our option, right? We are looking for a false statement. So in a degree 3 polynomial, we can have how many turns? We can have either 0 turns or 2, but not 1. Do you understand? So this statement is false. A polynomial function of odd degree may not have any turning point. That's correct. We saw this is odd degree, right? It can just go from quadrant 3 to 1 without a turn. So these statements are correct for us, and this one is wrong. Therefore, the solution, which of the following statements about a polynomial function is false, is this. So that is our right answer, right? Correct. I hope you learned from this. And now the concept of turning points and degrees is absolutely clear to you, right? You should be in a position to answer the next one perfectly. Thank you.